Welcome again, and I'm here to give you another weekly roundup of those weekend Premier League fixtures, and I am excited to do so. I'm thrilled. There were some big results. First of all, there were some big games. There were some big results. There were some upsets. It had everything, almost everything, but it had quite a lot. Let's jump straight into it. We're gonna go into, like I said the last time, there's only Saturday, Sunday fixtures. So we're gonna jump straight into Super Sunday, the biggest game at Anfield. Liverpool hosted Manchester United, 3-1 to Klopp's boys. 3-1. We had Mane who scored the first, and then an Alisson error, a cross coming from Lukaku from out wide. He came out to claim the ball, to scoop it, and spilled it. Basically dropped the ball as he went to grab it, fell to Lingard, and Lingard has tapped the ball to the net for the equaliser. But it was pretty much all Liverpool from there on. 1-1 in the first half. Second half come out, Shaqiri, super sub, comes off the bench and nabs 2 goals. I mean, they were both deflective goals. Bit fortunate, you know, both of them come off a defender to deflect into the back of the net. You could say maybe David De Gea would have saved them otherwise. It's hard to say. But it wasn't no like beautifully worked goal, or it was like a bit messy. I mean, I give the Shaqiri second one a bit more credit because they worked it back to him, but again the shot was deflected. But it was a Shaqiri double that secured the 3 points for Liverpool. And Liverpool are going from strength to strength this season. This is what, 17 games now, and they are still unbeaten. Was it 14 wins and 3 draws? I think it is. I think it's 14 wins and 3 draws, no losses. Having played Man United, having played Tottenham, having played Chelsea, I think that was a 1-1, and having played Manchester City in a 0-0. They've got Arsenal coming up very shortly, so they've played their fair share of big games and they haven't lost yet. I mean, they're going very strong, very strong. Good result for them. Not so good result for Manchester United, losing their grip even more on 4th place. I think they're 11 points now behind top 4. And if any fans or any believers out there thought that it was still possible to come back and make it into that top 4, surely there is no hope left in them now. Surely there's no believers out there that believe that Man United can make top 4. It's over now. It's done. I mean, 11 points is a lot to make up, even when you're in good form. Because as we've seen, you know, the likes of Spurs and Arsenal unbeaten run, and Spurs, you know, winning week in week out, more or less, and they still can't gain places in, you know, 2nd place and 1st place. So even when you're in good form, it's near enough impossible to make up 11 points. But an out of form, yeah, 11 points is not happening. Other big game, and I don't want to cover too much about the Liverpool game because we're heading off later to the podcast, and I think we're gonna discuss the match in more detail. So listen out for that podcast. And we got Arsenal, who were away to Southampton. Now you might think, not really a big game, Arsenal 3 points, but nope, Arsenal lost 3-2. So they fell behind twice, 1-0 to Southampton. It was Ings that scored, Mkhitaryan equalised. Ings again scored a second, put them 2-1 up. Then Mkhitaryan scored to make it 2-2. And then off the bench, I can't remember who it was now. I think it was Long. I think it was Long that come off the bench, and nicked the winner for Southampton at 3-2. Now, Arsenal's unbeaten run ended in all competitions in the Premier League. But what I will say is, obviously, I know it's one game that they've lost, and they really shouldn't have lost because Southampton are struggling and they really look like they're going to go down. But what I will say is, I did say previously that eventually, if Arsenal don't sort out the amount of goals that they leak, and they don't sort out their defensive frailties, it's going to catch up with them. And this is one result that's caught up with them, because now they've lost pace on fourth place. So now they're playing catch up against teams that are in good form. They're playing catch up against teams that are in good form. These are the games that you need to win. And I did say it. I know, was it last week or the week before? I said I've been banging on it about for ages that it's gonna catch up with them. But they rode their luck for so long. I was like, maybe this is just it. This is just their year. This is what's just gonna happen. They're just gonna ride their luck, and they're just gonna keep getting these results, these victories and draws against the big teams, and just, I don't want to say luck their way through it, because it's not luck. They're scoring goals. They're playing decent amount of football up front, but they're riding a certain degree of luck at the back. And I had given up for a week or two. I was like, maybe this is them. But then this result has put, light back, the perspective back into my eyes. It's like, this is what is going to happen if you don't defend properly. It's conceded 3 against Southampton. Then his next is going to be conceded 3 against, an Everton team, or 2 against Bournemouth when you're only managing to score 1 goal. And then you're going to have to go and play Liverpool very shortly. What's going to happen when you play against Liverpool? Are you going to concede 2 or 3? Or when you go and play Tottenham Hotspurs in the FA Cup midweek that's coming up? I don't know. Like, they have to sort it out. And I don't expect them to sort it out. I mean, they're 17 games into the season and they don't look anywhere near sorting it out. They don't look better than they were in game week 1 than they do right now in game week 17 going into game week 18. They don't. I think new personnel is required. I mean, Koscielny started his first Premier League back from injury. Didn't help the side at all. They didn't look any stronger. Monreal started over Kolasinac, who was apparently, he got injured in the warm-up. They didn't look any stronger. And it's just a case of new personnel is required for the Arsenal backline, and you have to give Emery time. You have to give him about 3 or 4 transfer windows to make that team really his, to do what they need to do for him, what he wants them to do. But that was definitely 3 points drop for Arsenal, losing 3-2 to Southampton. And the final Sunday game was Chelsea, who played away to Brighton, and they eked out 2-1. They went 2-0 up. Brighton clawed a goal back, and that was pretty much the game. It was Hazard and I can't remember the other goal scorer. Hazard and Pedro. Pedro scored first early on. Hazard assist. Hazard scored the second. So Chelsea picking up 3 points, meaning they pulled 3 more points away from Arsenal. So Arsenal are now 3 points behind Chelsea, because before they were level on points, but now they're 3 points behind Chelsea. So again, like I said, they're playing catch up. And then the Saturday games, we had Tottenham Spurs at home to Burnley, who again been doing what they're doing all season and eking out results, needs and musts. 1-0 victory against Burnley. Drab of a game. It was a very strange lineup, very strange. We had Ben Davis, Danny Rose, Trippier, all in defence in a straight back 4. So I can't remember who it was. I think it was Ben Davis that played centre back. He's a left back playing centre back. And we had Skip, an 18-year-old youngster, was handed his first Premier League start in central midfield. And then we had Dele Alli with Lamela and Sissoko paired alongside Skip, but in front of them was Dele Alli, Lamela, and I can't remember who the last player was. Oh, Lucas Moura. Obviously Kane up top. And I looked at it and I was like, there's a lot of defensive players on here. You've got 3 fullbacks, 1 centre back, some defensive central midfielders, and you've got Eriksen, Son on the bench. These are the players that Spurs need if they want to win games. And as it was 0-0 the whole time until they made their subs. Son came on, Eriksen came on, and I think Eriksen scored the winner in what, the 94th, 95th minute, something like that. Eriksen scored the winner. But these are the players that need to start. If this because Spurs aren't going to win the Premier League, and I don't think they're going to win the Champions League. You know, the belief is there. They might believe that they can, but I don't think they're going to win the Champions League. Focus has to be on getting a trophy, which will be the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. Focus your energies there. Focus your energies in the Premier League to get back into the Champions League, because it's not a guarantee. It's not a certainty that you're gonna, you know, make it into top 4. So resting players like Eriksen and Son makes no sense to me, especially when they were out at the beginning of the season and they weren't playing. They missed these players. They should be fit enough to be playing these games. Don't worry about midweek and the next Premier League fixtures. Just play them. Just play them. They're fit. They're ready. They can do this. They can handle it. They're professional football players. And without them, Spurs really do struggle. But they need to get them back in the side for week in, week out. And then we had Manchester City, the last of the so-called Big Six that played. And they played Everton at home. Routine 3-1 win for them. 2-0 up. Everton claw one back. Sterling comes off the bench, scores 3-1. Game done and dusted, no problem. Jesus scored the first 2 goals. I think it was his first goals for Manchester City in like 4 or 5 months. Like, it was ages. Like, he's been struggling of recent. So, and you could see the light on his face in the celebrations. He was really happy with those goals because he's been struggling of late. He's been really struggling of recent. So, well done to the lad. He needed it. He needed it for his confidence boost. If he's going to improve under Pep, if he's going to improve as a Manchester City player, he needs these game times. He needs to take his chances, these moments, and he did just that against Everton. And elsewhere in the league, we had Crystal Palace at home to Leicester, which ended 1-0. Palace keeping a rare clean sheet, nicking a 1-0 victory. 3 points will do them the world of good right now. The world of good, because there's some teams down there really struggling. So 3 points at this stage of the season will do them a world of good. We had Huddersfield at home, who, you know, they've had their recent issues and troubles at home recently. Got a couple of decent results, but playing against Newcastle, these are like I said, these home games are the ones that you need to pick up the points. You're picking up the 3 points, and they didn't do that. They didn't even get one. They've gone back to their old ways, failing to score at home. 1-0 Newcastle, big away victory for Newcastle. Another 3 points in the bag for Benitez's men, and I believe they'll beat the drop. I mean, I've slightly kind of taken them out. I think they've got enough to do what they need to do. It was a good result for them. A bit of a surprising result, not as much as the Arsenal game, but a bit of a surprising result. Wolves at home to Bournemouth. Wolves won 2-0. And I shouldn't be that surprised, because again, they're at home. It's away for Bournemouth, and I believe that, you know, Bournemouth would have come back strong. I didn't think they had the stuffing knocked out of them after their recent run of bad form. But like I said, they were playing big games like Arsenal, Liverpool, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, and, you know, just picking up those losses, you'd think, oh, why? But they rode the wave, and I thought they would come back out, get a victory against Wolves, but that wasn't the case. Wolves took all 3 points, 2-0, a clean sheet, and Wolves have picked up some nice results of late. I think this is 3 wins on the bounce. 3 wins on the bounce, and in those 3 wins, they beat Chelsea 2-1. It may even be 4. I'm not 100% certain. But I know they've definitely won 3 on the bounce, and within those 3, they've beaten Chelsea 2-1. And they're on a nice run of form. They're doing really well. The Wolves have come up and they've done really well this season. They've got Doherty, the fullback, as Neeks calls him, Doherto Carlos. I mean, he's so attacking is unbelievable. He's doing phenomenal in his fullback duties. Well, I should say attacking fullback duties. Not quite sure about his defensive fullback duties. And you got Jimenez, however you say it, up front, and obviously you've got Jota, the midfielder, who's pulling the strings, that creative midfield, and you've got Ruben Neves. I mean, those are the key players there for Wolves, and they've been having a really good season, a solid season. Kudos to them. It might even be a case that I think we could be looking at them finish higher than Bournemouth this season. They could be finishing higher than Bournemouth this season. And then we move over to Craven Cottage, where Fulham are at home to West Ham, and they lost 2-0. Yeah, 2-0. What can I say? They're going down. I mean, I said it a long time ago. That I can't remember who it was. I think it was a Newcastle game they played, and I said if they fail to win that game, that's it. They're going down. And I've called it. They're going down. I mean, fair play, West Ham have really picked up their performances. Felipe Anderson is just coming in so clutch at the moment. And some of their strikers, the rotation in their strikers between Javier Hernandez, Perez, and Arnautovic when he's fit, they're doing really well. And Antonio as well. They've got some good players, good squad depth for injuries, you know. So there's life in them yet, and you don't have to worry about West Ham getting relegated. Any West Ham fans out there that were worried at the start of the season, no need to worry now. West Ham have found their groove, and I think they're in a place now where they can challenge. I wouldn't say challenge, but put up a decent fight and cause the bigger team problems. I think big teams coming to play West Ham now could be problematic. Whereas at the start of the season, not really, but right now they're in a place where I think they could be problematic for some of the big teams, and we could see this fixture against West Ham, whether it be home or away, cause a little upset in the table, at the upper ends of the table. And then we have Watford, who were at home to Cardiff, and they squeaky bum time is what we're going to call it. They squeaky bum timed it to victory. 3-2, but they were 3-0 up, 3-1, 3-2, and a very nervy ending. So they stumbled over the finish line, got there in the end, but 3-2 victory for Watford. Finally picking up a win. It took a long time. Big result for them. Confidence boost. I mean, being able to score 3 goals, you know, you're gonna feel good. Conceding 2, especially after being 3-0 up, maybe not so, but you deal with that on another day. You get over that. You put that in the back of your minds. The victory is the most important thing here, and they'll be delighted with the 3 points. I think in summary, the happiest team over the weekend will probably be Southampton. Beating Arsenal, really struggling to stay afloat here in the depths of the relegation battle, picking up a big 3 points against a team that's unbeaten like 20-21 games or whatever it was, and coming up scoring 3 goals against them. I think they'll be there. That was the match of, I wouldn't say the match of the weekend, but it was the result of the weekend. Big upset, unlikely victory made possible there, and they would be tough to bits with a mammoth 3 points there, a mammoth 3 points, because not all of their competitors that are fighting relegation are going to beat Arsenal. So this is 3 points here that they're looking at none of their other direct competitors are going to get. So well done to Southampton. And like I said, I'm going to be heading over now pretty shortly to studio to do the podcast. So stay tuned on to all of our media platforms, with Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Facebook, Instagram, and all of that stuff. Remember, tune in, watch us, follow us, like, subscribe, drop us a comment, ask us any questions, let us know if you want to, you know, see anything or change anything, and stay tuned. More from me next week. Premier League is really heating up. We've got midweek cup fixtures. I think it's Carabao Cup fixtures, North London derby in that competition there, and then we're back on the weekend to Premier League fixtures. Coming into Christmas, where there's going to be games pretty much every day, so stay tuned. Plenty of content, I'm sure, plenty of squad rotations and plenty of upsets in the games to come, so stay tuned.